today, not in these woods. It's native, but not the most common of trees. And while we stood here, when we talked about natural and recently planted woodlands, I just brought you an example of something we don't like to see in our woodlands. There isn't much of it here. Do you know what this is? Anybody? Laurel, yes. So when we go out on my conservation mornings, Melanie, we often end up laurel bashing, just basically taking laurel out, because it's quite a sterile tree in terms of wildlife it supports. It's got waxy leaves, nothing much eats it, nothing much likes the flowers. Yeah, it escapes from gardens, or it's been planted into woodlands as cover for pheasants, for example. It grows very fast. So apparently it's supposed to be. Yes. I think even for people, kind of, if you ate the berries, not sure they'll kill you, but probably would make your tummy upset. So don't eat laurel. But so we often remove laurel and put something native there, which is better for wildlife and better for cover. I mean, it grows very fast. It takes over, an area very, very quickly, just like sycamores do. So we try to, restore the balance, I suppose, on green spaces we look after, to have trees which are actually good for wildlife, rather than this kind of rubbish.
So is it related to rhododendron?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, rhododendrons is another species that you'll find in woodlands, that not in this area because it's
they're quite similar.
Line. Quite similar in leaves. But rhododendrons, they like acid soils.
Oh, right,
so in this area you'll find very few rhododendrons growing naturally.
You get laurel in alkali, do you?
More likely, yeah. So that's your laurel.
And they were introduced, were they?
Introduced, both laurel as a garden plant and also rhododendrons as garden plants. So, I mean, it's good to have a variety, but when something is not native, and ends up taking over from native species.
It excludes stuff.
Excludes native species, just pushes things out, and then something that our wildlife has evolved to eat or to, use for shelter or whatever.
Where were they brought from?
Well, rhododendrons are Himalayas, I think. Yeah. So
Slovakia.
No, that's one thing I'm not guilty of, is rhododendrons or laurels. Okay.